Well, it's September 10. You know the drill. I would say let's bake a cake, but I've already made the cake/dessert because it needed time in the ref to be at its best. So that's what I did last night. But on to the video. Today I will share with you guys 22 things I've learned in 22 years from the 22 books that I have read most recently that I need to share with you. Number 1. People become fascinated with pictures and words and wind up forgetting the language of the world. From The Alchemist, a novel that leads to self-discovery. These book quotes that I will share with you today are words on a page that have pulled a heartstring or two from me, and I really think that it's important to ask yourself why something stirs you up. And it's usually because I think the world is telling you, hey, you need to remember that, or you need to adjust that. Okay, I'll do number 2 later.
Wow, Hannah, so early in the video, you already need my support. Anyway, it did not do number 2. I just skipped to number 3. I don't know how that happened. Calling a friend. Avere il cuore in mano. And that is from Love and Gelato. A classic young adult fiction. A much needed kilig at a time and place when I needed it. The well-known saying is to wear your heart on your sleeve. You know, it kind of just means displaying your feelings and your emotions to the world. And they're just the witness of your feelings, emotions, and who you are. But this little statement that I will still not try to pronounce means have your heart in your hand. It's an Italian saying. I think love is handing your heart to someone, trusting that even if they have all the power in the world to hurt that thing, they're gonna care for it instead.
The worst part of holding the memories is not the pain, it's the loneliness of it. Memories need to be shared. By the giver. A dystopian society that will get you rethinking absolutely everything. Life is always lived best at a flow state. When something happens to you, or you experience something, express it. To a friend, to your pet, to your notebook, whatever it is, whoever it is. Memories are best when shared. Our fences need gates in them. From boundaries. This is a book that'll help you mean your yeses and your no's. I'm good at putting up my walls, but Dr. Henry Cloud reminds me that healthy boundaries are letting the good in and letting the bad out. So you don't just put up fences, you don't just put up walls, you gotta put gates. So that there can be, like I mentioned, a flow state. Possibly it had occurred to him that the colossal significance of the light has now vanished forever. Now it was again a green light on a dock. The Great Gatsby. And it's a cliche for a reason. Us humans always look for novelty, the new things. And once we get those things that we don't have, the significance is gone. Preserve significance. I thought of many things, but stronger was the wish to be where people lived, to hear their voices and their laughter. This is from The Island of the Blue Dolphins, based on a true story and a tale of survival. Sometimes I get too caught up with work, with school, with myself, that I forget to look at the people that are around me. Don't just hear their voices. Listen to understand. Don't just hear their laughter. Join in on it. We were made for a relationship. Nothing shapes our lives so much as the questions we ask. And this is from 201 Great Questions for Parents and Children. A very random book, I think you'd say, but personally, it has been a game changer for our family. I'm very good at investing in new friends. I'm very good at investing in strangers even sometimes, but I forget that I have to invest in my family too. I need to get to know them. I need to dig deeper, and that takes intentionality. So weird questions we bring around at the dinner table are like, where do you feel most frightened? Or when's the last time you had goosebumps? And little questions like this actually just promote great conversation, and it allows people to open up. So I really love this book, and I highly recommend doing something like that with your family. He often takes us aside from every other source of comfort so that he alone can have our heart's attention. From the book, Captivating. If you were a woman in search of, in the middle of, or have been in a very long relationship already, this book is for you. This quote basically reminds me that I rely on a lot of other things to fulfill my needs. You know, friends, things, experiences, and I put those things on a pedestal and I expect so much from them. I say, give me what I need. But the reality is, my source is not the creation, but the creator himself. And sometimes, even if it's frustrating, even if it's stressful, maybe a little bit tense, God is going to have to distance you from the things that you're becoming dependent on, the things that you're becoming reliant on, just so that He can get you alone. And just so He can remind you, hey, I'm the source of it all. Know your source. But man is not made for defeat. He can be defeated, but not destroyed. From The Old Man and the Sea. I need to find that book. It's a really great book. A quick read, but a great one at that. So remember the frustration I was talking about and the tensions of life? We can take those things sometimes and allow ourselves to sulk, to get bitter, or to backslide. But what if we take those seemingly negative experiences and learn from it and ask it, what are you trying to teach me? From there, we can actually turn that loss into a win. Sometimes I'm definitely destroyed, but we need not be defeated. I run, therefore I am. What I talk about when I talk about running, which is a memoir on running by, I think, one of the most influential authors of our generation. This is Haruki Murakami. So what I love so much about this book, a lot of things actually. I have become a runner in the recent months, and I don't think it's because I love running. I think it's because I love the person that I become when I run. The Hannah who runs sleeps very early because she actually uses up her energy in the day. The Hannah who runs cares to hydrate herself, to give herself good meals because she has a run, so she has to be strong. She cares to check in on her body. Hey, how am I feeling today? Or to tap into her mind and say, whoa, it's kind of noisy in there today, you know? And I just love that sensation. When I run, I'm reminded how alive I actually am. How my limbs are moving, how my breath is coming in and out. And then eventually, as we check in on the mind and the body and the spirit, whew, tapos na yung workout for today. You can't hate the beast and expect to beat it. The only way to truly conquer something, as every great philosopher and geneticist will tell you, is to love it. From Born to Run. This book, it's my current read and it's literally shaping my mind as a runner/athlete. The beast here that is being referred to is pain. The struggle, the exhaustion, the icky feeling that you feel during a long run or during something that seems to never end. And this quote, I think, is the secret to pushing past things that seem utterly impossible. She says it best. To truly conquer something, we must absolutely love it. Each life is born with a living body and soul, but with a dead spirit. From the Daniel Fast, a very practical read on how to be healthy, mind, body, and spirit. The mind can tell the body to move, to act, or to think, but without a spirit that is truly alive and active, I become a boat without a rudder. I become a car without a steering wheel, or a Hannah disconnected from her maker. You know how people talk about soul food? Yeah, there's like reading, meditation, talking to good people. Feed your spirit, not just your body. Oh my gosh, you need to hear this quote, number 13. The past is frozen and no longer flows, and the present is all lit up with eternal rays. This is from Screw Tape Letters. Should be a required reading at school. It changed my life. I care too much about the past and I can't change it. I care too much about the future and I can't even reach it. When my mind is fixated on the past and the future, I'm actually wasting my moments in the only place and time that I have access to. That's the present. Forever is composed of nows. A very favorite quote of mine. Get lost, wander. From Steal Like an Artist, a book that every creative must read. Oh, and we're all creative. I read once that creativity is a wild mind and a disciplined eye. Discipline, I believe, is important. I love routine and I love knowing the plan, but play is sometimes something that I neglect. Give yourself moments to run wild, to explore, and to discover the uncomfy, the different. Because I believe that's where you'll find yourself again. Number 15. But to you I have given this most sacred thing, your will. I have given you so much freedom that you may even exercise that will against me, if you choose to do so. Come away, my beloved. This devotion is like Jesus speaking directly to me. I was bought with a price, the Son of God on a cross, to be precise. Even my own will, my ability to make decisions or choices was given to me. And God loves us so much that He gives us the choice to take all these blessings and gifts that He has handed onto us and to walk away with it, or to walk to Him instead. The least thing I can do is commit my life that has been given to me to the giver Himself. My life is not my own. He made you to be a member of His family, a mode of His character, a magnifier of His glory, a minister of His grace, and a messenger of His good news to others. From The Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. So reading list for everybody. Number 1, the Bible, and number 2, The Purpose-Driven Life. I'm not an accident. You are not an accident. I was made with a plan. You were made with a plan. And we were made for a purpose. You get what you repeat. And that is from Atomic Habits by James Clear, the only self-help book I have ever finished. Truly, sometimes other self-help books are just impossible to finish. You know that saying that goes, you fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice, shame on me. We as humans are allowed to make mistakes. But when we make the mistake yet again, when we repeat the mistake, that is our conscious decision. One that if we don't recognize and stop, will become a habit. Basically, you are the sum of the things that you do again and again and again and again. So either repeat it or repent. In ancient Egypt, there are 2 different verbs for procrastination. One denotes laziness, the other meant waiting for the right time. The Originals by Adam Grant. This is the book that basically says, do differently. Don't do it like everyone else. Take your own path and see success in it. It's weird, but when I take a day off, or when I take a breather every once in a while, when I sleep a little bit longer than maybe I should have, I feel really guilty. I feel like I have been left behind. May I remind you that timing is everything, that there's a pace to life. And yes, there will be moments where you are definitely lazy, come on, admit it. But there will be moments where you actually have to stop and pause. There is wisdom in the waiting. You got a minute. 1 minute with God for women. This book just reminded me that I have a minute. Sometimes I'm like, I'm too busy for you, God. I'm too busy. I have stuff to do. Blah, 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 blah. Really? No. You are too busy to not pray. You are too busy to not get connected. Because all that busyness will mean absolutely nothing if it's not for the right reasons. So even a minute to God, at the beginning of the day, committing everything to Him can absolutely change your life. Speaking of devotions, number 20, this is My Utmost for His Highest. And I just want to share with you the actual title itself. This devotion has been my companion for the whole year, and it is literally stretching my faith, 1 page at a time. This is the quote itself, my utmost for His highest. I want to be my best. I want to be my purest. I want to be my happiest. I want to be everything. The top for the highest. I love this book so much. Because you can be the best at life. You can be the best at everything. You can be the person that everyone looks up to. But if they're looking up to you and you're not looking to anyone but yourself, there's no more goal, you know? There's no more level to aspire to reach. And when I am my best for the only person that can be perfect. Okay, putting that aside. No matter how many you collect, fragments are still just that. Men Without Women by Haruki Murakami. It's a collection of short stories about, well, men without women. This is the quote that I'm going to use to encourage you guys to ask yourself which of these quotes pulled a heartstring from you. And whatever that number is, whatever that quote is or something, read the book. You are just getting fragments, these little quotes here and there, but the book itself is a whole new experience. And I really think that it will speak to you. Listen to the language of the world, baby. Speaking of listening, I gotta listen to my tiramisu. I'll talk to you later. Number 22. The most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or touched. They are felt with the heart. From The Little Prince. Thanks for watching.